with that 23-19 win over Wheaton Warrenville South.
Yeah, Mark, this is a big game from the standpoint of these two teams are tied with two other teams undefeated in the conference, and it's a big game this evening for the rest of the season, because this year, for the first time, the schools are going to be seeded based on record, and one team is going to drop out of the lead in the conference. Now, you've got two teams that are pretty evenly matched from the standpoint of their attacks. Both feature good quarterbacks, good receiving cores, and a good running attack. Naperville North, obviously, with Lavelle Brown and Tom Georgievic in the backfield. Scott Kavanaugh showed his poise and his confidence and his ability last week against Wheaton South, directing that last drive for the game-winning touchdown. And, of course, they're throwing the ball to Matt Deegan, who's back after being injured. Central, on the other hand, obviously, you've got their quarterback. Tim Lavery has stepped into the mix. Jason Shearer has kind of taken over where Tyler Turnquist, who's going to be honored here tonight, left off. And, of course, you've got Jim Tumulty in the backfield, who's the leading ground gainer in their big attack. The big thing tonight is going to be the line play, because both teams are so evenly matched with their attacks. And the kicking game, because there is a pretty good breeze blowing from left to right tonight.
Breeze out of the north. Ideal weather conditions here tonight. Wind of about 10 to 12 miles an hour. Naperville Central has won the toss, and they have elected to receive, so they will be going into that slight wind. And we've got a sellout crowd on hand here tonight to watch these two outstanding football teams, and we should have a good one here, and we hope you enjoy it here on our Jones Intercable Sports Game of the Week. And back deep for the Red Hawks is Jim Tumulty, and we're about ready to go here at Naperville Central. Good kick, and that's picked by Tumulty at his own 5. He comes across to the 15, to the 20, and he's brought down at the 25-yard line, and that's where Naperville Central will take over 1st and 10. Coach Joe Bungie and his Red Hawk offense. As Jim mentioned, Tim Lavery, the quarterback, Jim Tumulty, the halfback. He will get the bulk of the offense. Last week, he rushed for 134 yards, carried the ball 22 times, and we'll get to the rest of that Red Hawk offense momentarily here.
It'll be interesting, Mark, as far as Tumulty goes, if they're able to get him off pretty quickly in the first quarter, if North is able to shut him down right from the start and make Central go to the air.
Scherer and Bluth are split out here on the near side. They're going to go to Tumulty up the middle across the 30 to about the 31-yard line, a pickup of 6. It'll be 2nd down and 4. The rest of that offensive line for Coach Joe Bungie. The center is Dan Rudney. Joshua Anderson and Steven Sestina are the guards. The tackles, Ethan Northrup and Gerald Cutt, and also Bradley Grocke, a 6', 165-pound junior, is up front for the Red Hawks. Gain of 7. It'll be 2nd down and 3 now. As Lavery looks over the Husky defense. I formation. They're going to go to Tumulty again. He crosses the 35, and he gets to the 39 for a Naperville Central first down.
Made by number 44.
First two plays, Mark, off the left side, but outside of the tackle area. If you notice, Central is giving the ball to Tumulty deep in the backfield, but he's not going inside. He's trying to go a little bit outside the tackle and end away from that inside pursuit of North's defense.
Jim, this Husky defense, a little bit of injuries as Chris Williams and Brian Hahn have missed most of this week with injuries. Walsh has a lower back problem as well for the Huskies. This is Tumulty again around the right side. He gets to the 45 and into Red Hawk territory.
Tumulty across midfield for another Red Hawk first down.
Well, 3 offensive plays for Central, 3 handoffs to Tumulty, 2 first downs. And again, this time they went wide to the right side, forcing North's pursuit from inside to catch up with him. He's got good speed as well as some good power when he's tackled. One man is not able to bring him down.
Lavelle Brown was there defensively for the Huskies. Split out here on the near side is Jason Scheer. I formation now. Long count by Lavery. And one more time, it's Tumulty straight up the middle. He picks up about 6 more, and he'll be 2nd down and 4. And Jim, So far, it's all Jim Tumulty.
Yeah, 4 carries, 33 yards on the ground. Tumulty again. If you notice, Mark, they're going outside the tackle area. They're not taking anything inside, and it's just straight ahead blocking by the Central offensive line. And they're controlling the line of scrimmage, which we said was going to be the difference in tonight's game.
Split out on the far side is David Booth. Over here to the near side is Shear.
Passing formation this time.
2nd down and 4. Lavery, the junior, the left-hander, gets it to Shear. And he gets across the 40 down to the 35, and we're going to have a late flag. A late flag here on the near side.
Yeah, I think it's a personal foul. Number 44, he kind of led with his helmet, Mark, on the hit after Shearer was already down and out of bounds.
That was number 44, Jason Jurek. And the call is against the Huskies. We mentioned that Husky defense plagued with a couple of injuries. We'll get to that defensive line. Chuck Cato and Jared McDonough are the ends. The tackles are Bob Cron and Brad Sabdo. The linebackers, Jason Jurek, Lavelle Brown, who plays on both sides of the ball, Mark Van Berschot, and the secondary, Kevin DeJovene, his brother Jordan, Matt Deegan, the cornerback for the Huskies, and Torrey Landgraf, a 5'11 junior linebacker as well. Redhawks opening drive, very impressive now.
Let's see if they run to the wide side here, Mark.
The give once again is to Tumulty to the right side. He gets across to the 15-yard line, brought there at the 13.
And Naperville Central is just opening big holes. Tumulty gets through the line of scrimmage without being touched. And whenever you're doing that, you're going to pick up 4 or 5 yards at least. He's a good running back, and he's picking up even more than that.
Chuck Cato.
Brown was there for the stop along with number 95, Chuck Cato.
Gain of 8 makes 2nd and 2.
2nd down and 2 yards to go. Booth is split out on the left side along with Scher. Tumulty, one more time, Tumulty, and he gets tripped up at about the 10-yard line. He's going to be, I believe, a little bit short of that first down.
Tackle made by number 10, Jordan DeJovene. There's a flag on the play.
And the preliminary signal is against the Redhawks.
The nice penetration that time by Mark Van Berschot, sorry about the pronunciation. But he had nice penetration in the backfield and got a hand on Tumulty's ankle, kind of tripped him up a little bit. And, of course, he was being held, I think, at the same time, so it was a double good effort by him.
Folks, a reminder that tonight's game is being brought to you in part by Domino's Pizza at 152 Gardner Road in Naperville. Give them a call at 357-4121. That's 357-4121. Domino's Pizza at 152 Gardner Road in Naperville. So here we go one more time. Lavery. Play action. He's going to roll out to the right side. The left-hander throws. He's got his man. And he gets snuck out of bounds.
Lavery pass complete to number
33 out of the backfield. Corey Stevens with the reception.
Yeah, it was a nice fake in the backfield to Tumulty. Held the linebacker. And Stevens was offset to the right side in the backfield. Mark was able to slip out into the flat before the linebacker could get out on his coverage. So it was good faking by Lavery, and well-executed play and a nice route by Stevens.
Jim, after that big victory last week, do you think there's a little bit of a letdown on this Husky defense?
No, I don't think there's a letdown on the part of the Huskies. I think the Redhawks are coming in here very high, knowing that this is a good North team, and they really have to take them seriously and focus.
1st and goal from the 9. This is Tumulty. He gets tripped up, a gain of a couple. It'll be 2nd down and goal.
And of course, Central is a pretty fair ball club so far this year. They haven't won 3 ball games, by just showing up. They've dominated the statistics, if you see it. And they want to prove to people that there's not just one football team in Naperville.
2nd and 7.
Last year, the crosstown rival here in Naperville was won by the Huskies by a score of 36-19, and of course the Redhawks are looking for a victory here tonight. This is Tumulty again to the left side, but
Nice
a good
play.
defensive play in the backfield. That was number
51 that time.
51, Torrey Landgraf, 5'11", 170-pound junior.
So that's the last 2 times they've run that play to the left. North has gotten great penetration in the backfield, and Tumulty is not able to turn the play up into the hole. He's being forced to go a little wider, and they're using the sideline as an extra defender and getting him in the backfield.
Loss of a couple on that play. It'll be 3rd down and goal from the 9. Scherer split out to the left, and that's where Lavery's looking to the left side. Over his head, and it's incomplete. It'll bring up 4th down.
Well, that ball was thrown away, Mark, because there were 3 defenders there around Jason Scherer. They knew he was going to be the primary receiver.
4th and 9.
So North is able to hold, and Central's going to have to try for a field goal now. But it was a nice opening drive. The penalty really hurt Central there when they had the 1st down or 2nd down and short at about the 12-yard line.
Number 4, Jim Tumulty.
So Jim Tumulty, who did all the work on the ground, will try to put some points up with the field goal attempt here. Kick is blocked. It was a low kick, and it goes into the end zone. So a very low kick by Tumulty, and the Husky defense is held, much to the delight of that Husky fans across the field there.
Downs, 1st and 10 from their own 9-yard line.
Well, the opening drive for Central, 10 plays. They used up just over 5 minutes. Tumulty rushed 7 times for 40 yards on the drive. And now we'll see if the momentum changes, Mark, because obviously Central had it. They were moving the ball very easily against North, drove it right down there, had a 1st down at the 20, and came away empty-handed.
1st and 10 from their own 20-yard line.
So now the Husky offense takes over. Scott Kavanaugh, the quarterback. Lavelle Brown is the senior fullback for the Huskies. Split out here to the near side is number 21, Matt Deegan. And they're going to come back and re-huddle. The offensive line for the Huskies, Tom Kukulski, Mike Sloan, Zach Manning, Brian Eck, Dave Abernathy, and Ryan Seipel is the center. Up the middle for just Lavelle Brown. He gets about 2. It'll be 2nd down and 8.
Tackle made by number 38, Brian Niermeyer.
Tumulty will get most of the load for the Redhawks on offense, and for the Huskies, it will be mostly number 30, Lavelle Brown. Split out here on the near side is Matt Deegan. Lavelle Brown is a lone setback. And the give is to Brown up the middle, but there's not much there.
Ball carried by number 30, Lavelle Brown.
It'll be 3rd down and about 7.
Well, if you saw there, just before the snap mark, Central jumped into a 5-man line, and the man who jumped into the line jumped right into the hole where the play was designed to go. And Kavanaugh was either unable or unwilling to audible out of the play, so Lavelle Brown ran right into the defender.
David Speicher, Chad Bissiger, Jason Moore, and Josh Hawkins as the defensive line for the Redhawks. Kavanaugh is going to go to the air. He's looking to the left side, and he's got his man. That's number 23, Jeremy Walsh, and he gets knocked out of bounds.
Yeah, again, the wing, Jeremy Walsh, the wingback, kind of comes out of the backfield, little delay pattern, and the linebackers are frozen by the fake, and he just snuck out to the left flat. A little bit of blown coverage there because that wasn't that great of a fake in the backfield.
Dylan Thomas.
Kavanaugh goes to Walsh quite a bit. Walsh with 9 catches for 147 yards and 2 touchdowns so far this year. 1st and 10 for Kavanaugh. He comes here to the near side. The pass is complete to number 21, Matt Deegan. And Deegan gets wrestled to the ground at about the 48-yard line.
That was a nice play because Kavanaugh had to throw the ball into the flat. A linebacker did get in the way there. Unfortunately, the ball was up a little bit and over his hands so that Deegan could make the catch. But Kavanaugh needs to be aware of that. The linebacker is kind of fallen off into that pattern.
Jim Hollick and Brian McNulty were both there defensively for the Redhawks. A pickup of 8. It'll be 2nd down and 2 now for the Huskies. Kavanaugh gives to Brown, and Brown gets across the 50 to the 45-40. He could be gone. Lavelle Brown, 10-5, touchdown, Naperville North.
Touchdown, Husky. Number 30, Lavelle Brown.
A 52-yard touchdown run by Lavelle Brown, and the Huskies are on the board first.
Well, I'll tell you what, Mark, I think there are two things on that play. Brown had a little bit of a trouble getting out of the backfield. He ran into his lead blocker, but then once he got to the outside, I think it was number 21, Matt Deegan, who put a nice block on the cornerback and allowed Brown to get to the outside, get the corner, and then the cornerback had to start up from a standing position, and there was no way he was going to catch Brown.
Scott Kavanaugh will hold Jeremy Walsh for the point after. It is up, and it is good. So with 4:47 left to play here in the first quarter, Jim and I will take this timeout with Naperville North leading Naperville Central 7-0. And just a reminder that Domino's Pizza, located at 152 Gardner Road in Naperville, is tonight's sponsor at 357-4121. We're back after this.
So, whose influence are you under?
Tom Jurjevic ready to kick off for the Huskies. Back deep for the Redhawks is Jim Tumulty. 7-0 Huskies on a 53-yard touchdown run by Lavelle Brown.
Yeah, you talked about momentum, and obviously there was a big shift when Central drove down there and had their drive stall, and then the field goal blocked.
Tumulty from his own 5. Across the 20. And he's brought down at about the 24-yard line, and that's where Naperville Central will take over now.
95,
First and 10 for its second offensive possession. And Jim mentioned the last offensive possession pretty much traveled downfield pretty good, Jim. They just didn't capitalize and get the final points.
Right, and then another momentum shift was when they had North 3rd down and about 8 after stopping Brown on 2 rushing plays. Looked like they were going to be able to get him 3 downs and out, get the ball back. And then the big first down play out into the flat to Jeremy Walsh. And then Brown on a straight off tackle play got the corner, and a nice block by Matt Deegan sprung him for the touchdown.
From the I formation here, Scherer is split out here on the near side, single coverage. First and 10, the pitch is to Tumulty. He tries to elude a couple tackles, but now a host of Husky defenders are there for about a 2-yard loss. Good gang tackling there by the Husky defense.
Tackle made by number 74, Jared McDonough.
But I think Cato was the guy who got the penetration and had a hold of Tumulty's jersey and spun him around, held him up for the rest of the guys to get there. Again, nice pursuit, good penetration across the line of scrimmage.
Illegal procedure against the Redhawks.
Yeah, it looked like Tumulty moved, started in motion a little bit before the snap. Be interesting to see if North has made any defensive adjustments here to kind of slow the Central attack down, because they did move down the field pretty easily the first time. This doesn't help when you get a loss on a play, and then you also have a penalty on top of it. The confidence factor starts to come into play as to whether Central can gear it up again and move down the field, or whether North figures, we got these guys, we hold them here, they have to kick into the wind, we can get good field position, go in for another score.
Jim, the Huskies are going to decline the procedure call against the Redhawks. It'll be 2nd down and 11. Lavery under center now. He's going to go to the left side. He's got Tumulty. He breaks one tackle, but he can't get by anymore as he is brought down at the 30-yard line.
Tackle made by number
3.5 minutes
10,
left to play here in the opening quarter.
That one almost broke. A couple of them, one arm tackle he got out of, the second one he didn't, but if he could have gotten through there, he had the whole middle of the field to go and take it for a touchdown. Big third down play here, Mark, to keep the drive alive.
Share is split out here on the near side. The lone setback is Tumulty. Third down and 3. Lavery's going to go over here to Share. He gets it. Tackled at the 35-yard line. Enough for a Red Hawk first down. Yep. Jason Jurek was there defensively for the Huskies, along with Jordan DeJovene.
By number 26.
Yeah, Kevin Jovene closed fast on the play there after the reception, but they only needed 3 or 4 yards. It's tough to stop that play. You'd rather give them a 4 or 5 yard completion as opposed to a big gainer.
First and 10 for Tim Lavery and the Red Hawks. Battle of the unbeatens here at Naperville Central. Both teams 3-0. Lavery gives it to Tumulty. And Tumulty gets brought down at the 40-yard line by Bob Cron, a 5'9" senior, 280-pound senior, Bob Cron.
The interesting thing about those opening drives, Mark, Central's was 10 plays, a little over 5 minutes. North used 6 plays in 2 minutes for their touchdown. Of course, they got it 52 yards at a time. Makes it a little easier.
Split out on the far side is Share. Over here on the near side is Booth. Lavery's going to go to the air. He's going to come over here towards Booth, and it is incomplete. Torrey Landgraf was there on the coverage.
Lavery
had to sidearm that ball a little bit because there were some defenders in the way. He tried to get it in there on the sidearm, but it was just off of the hands of the receiver.
Third down and 6 now for Naperville Central.
We would like to thank Dr. Frank.
Just over 2 minutes to play here in the opening quarter. It's Naperville North 7 and Naperville Central nothing. Lavery is going to go to the air again on third down. He's got his man Tumulty, and Tumulty gets brought down a little bit shy of the 50-yard line, but enough for another Red Hawk first down.
Yeah, one-on-one coverage with Jason Jurek, and it's tough for Jason to have to cover Tumulty one-on-one. And, of course, no pressure on
made by number 44, Jason Jurek.
Lavery either.
Both teams coming off of conference opening victories a week ago. Naperville Central 28-20 over Glenbard North. And, of course, Naperville North with a 23-19 win over Wheaton Warrenville South. Lavery gives it to Corey Stevens, and Stevens gets nowhere, a loss of about 3 on the play.
Ball carried by number 33, Corey Stevens.
Cato and Sabdo in on the tackle, Mark. Again, penetration, getting him in the backfield before he can get started and get across the line of scrimmage.
Would Mr. Eric Lazari.
Red Hawks break the huddle with Shearer. Split out here on the near side
of the field.
Lavery's going to go one more time. He dumps it off, and it is complete to Stevens.
Great play on defense, number 95. Because that would have been a big gainer if he doesn't bring him down, Mark.
Tackle made by number 95, Chuck Cato.
I mean, that was a no-gain play on that one when that could have been a big gainer with the 3 receivers lined up, taking the defense deep. He had some blockers there, but Cato made a nice play, get in behind the block, recognize the play, and get out into the coverage.
A couple yards short of the original line of scrimmage, so it'll be third down and 12, call it. Another passing situation here for Tim Lavery. Stevens alone setback, and Lavery's gets fleshed out, and he is brought down in the backfield by Brad Sabdo, a 6-foot senior for Naperville North.
He came from the weak side that time, untouched. Nobody was there, and Sabdo just was on a blitz the whole way. There was no coverage. There was no responsibility for him in the flat, so he was able to come, and Lavery didn't have much of a chance.
So Naperville
North wants to call timeout, Marks, to make Central kick into the wind.
Good call there by the Huskies. So we'll take a timeout as well here with 8 ticks of the clock left to play in the opening quarter. It's the visiting Huskies leading the host Redhawks by a score of 7-0. Jim and I are back right after this timeout.
fire dances with the waters, which brings the rain that feeds the land, that is home to the animals. All life dances together.
In a world so connected, choosing one environmental cause can be hard. EarthShare is 40 environmental charities working together. You and your company can help by calling 1-800-MY-SHARE.
All life lives, or doesn't, together.
When Raymond was 6, I was afraid to take him to the playground because they were doing drugs. When he was 10, I couldn't let him play ball in the schoolyard because of the gangs. When he was 15, I wouldn't let him go to any dances because there could be a fight or a shooting. Now he's a man, and I realize he's never been a kid.
Give your children back their childhood. Do something now. Call 1-800-WE-PREVENT. Together, we will take a bite out of crime.
Along with our producer-director, Lisa Aprade, Jim Porvecchio, and our statistician, Todd Kibbe. Mark Kruger back here at Naperville Central as they put a couple extra seconds on the clock. 10 seconds left to play here in the opening quarter. Nicholas Paleo will kick it away for the Naperville Central Redhawks.
Big play here from a field position standpoint, Mark, one way or the other. Good punt and good coverage puts North deep in the territory and then going into the wind. North looks like they're going to come.
The Giovanni and Deegan are back deep for the Huskies, and it's Deegan from his own 30 to the 35, and he gets brought down a little bit shy of the 40-yard line.
Punt returned by number 21,
2
Matt
seconds
Deegan.
left to play. A 30-yard punt by Nicholas Paleo. 10-yard return, and so the Huskies will take over 1st and 10 from their own 40-yard line with 2 seconds to play here in the opening
by
quarter.
number 34, Brad Gorofsky.
See if since they took the timeout to keep the win, nope, they don't get a chance.
Huskies from Naperville North 7.
So that's the end of the opening quarter here at Naperville Central, with the Huskies of Naperville North leading after 1 quarter, 7-0. Just a reminder that tonight's game is being brought to you by Domino's Pizza at 152 Gardner Road in Naperville, 357-4121. Jim and I are back right after this timeout.
Here's one time it doesn't matter who your neighbor is. Here's the other. Life's too short. Stop the hate.
Ball carried by number 30, Lavelle Brown. Fumble on the play. Dead ball. Gain of 1 second and 9 for the Huskies. Did they start? Ball carried by number 33, Tom Jurkovic. Tackle made by number 7, Rocky O'Shea. You tell those guys to go ahead. Mark! 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 First and 10 for the Red Hawk, 43-yard line.
First and 10 for Naperville North.
Ball carried by number 30, Lavelle Brown. Tackle made by number 41, Brad Tawsey. Assisted by number 48, Brian McNulty.
And he is brought down.
Big play in the backfield, Mark.
Loss of 2 on the play.
That time Central got penetration.
Brian McNulty, the defensive tackle, 6'2", 218-pound senior, was there on the stop defensively for the Redhawks. Just over 10 minutes to play here in the first half. Mark Kruger and Jim Porvecchio bring you all the action in our Jones Intercable Sports Game of the Week. Two wide receivers split out here on the near side. The give is to Brown again, and he is met right at the line of scrimmage. No gain. Much to the delight of the Central crowd.
Less than an imaginative play there, Mark. 3rd and 8, and you try basically a dive play with Lavelle Brown that hasn't worked except the one time he picked up about 6 yards, but the other 4 times it's gone for little or no yardage. And, I would have thought they would have come up with something a little different. But now they're punting, and again, field position is going to be important here.
To the press gate at the north end of the field. Eric Lazari to the press gate at the north end
Scott Kavanaugh
of the field. Back to field, the punt to the Redhawks, number 4, Jim Tumulty.
Tumulty is back for Naperville Central. He gets it from his own 10. And he gets brought down at about the 17-yard line. So Central takes over now, 1st and 10. And we'll see if they can put some points on the board here with just over 9 minutes to play here in the first half.
Nice defensive stand there by Central.
Assisted by number 23,
Mark.
Jeremy Walsh.
They're in a little bit of a hole now, but again, you know, they have the wind at their back, and they've proved that they can move the ball against the North defense on the first drive. They just need to get a few first downs here, if nothing else, and get some field position.
1st and 10 from their own 16.
Don't give the ball to North, 3 downs and out.
Central, a little bit younger team than Naperville North. They rely a little bit more heavily on their juniors. Tumulty is a lone setback. Lavery comes here to the near side. He's got his man Booth, and Booth fumbles. Loose ball, and I believe Naperville North has recovered.
To number 82, David Booth.
Nope, they're going to give it back to Naperville
Fumble
Central.
recovered by David Booth.
Booth coughed it up as he got hit.
Yeah, nice tackle in the open field there, one-on-one by the North defender. I think that was
tackle made by number 28,
Dan Palmchek. He's all alone out on that corner. If he doesn't make that play, Booth goes for a long gain and almost got the turnover deep in Central territory.
A gain of 8. It'll be 2nd down and 2 now. Scherer is split wide here on the near side. Lavery gives it to Tumulty, and he is wrapped up in the backfield by Jason Jirek. And Jirek has made a couple of nice defensive tackles for the Huskies.
It's obvious that North has players, spine into the backfield and keying on the Central offensive players. I think Jurek and Cato have the responsibility for Tumulty. Number 21, Matt Deegan, has got the responsibility to cover the outside receiver for Central. Jason Scherer. And Palomchek has David Booth. So they're going with these men man on man.
3rd down and 2. It's Tumulty. And I don't know, Jim. It's going to be awfully close.
Yeah, I don't think he got it. Looks like he's a little short.
So Naperville Central will have to punt it away.
Assisted by number 74, Jared McDonough.
In comes Nicholas Paleo to punt it away for the Redhawks.
Number 53, Nick Paleo. Deep to receive for the
It's interesting, Mark, in the last series and this series for Central, they get a big gainer, and then the second play is a loss or no gain, and they take themselves out of a first down situation because it sure looked like they were going to pick up at least 1 first down after that first play that gained about 8 or 9 yards.
To Jovene from the 50 across to the 45, and that's where he is brought down. So Naperville North with very good field position. 1st and 10 from the Naperville Central 45-yard line.
Yeah, that's why it was important that Central try and get a couple of first downs so that North didn't get the ball at midfield, or as the case is now, they're inside Central's territory at the 44-yard line.
We mentioned at the top, the crosstown rival, 2 teams unbeaten at 3-0. Naperville North has won 7 of the last 8 games between these two schools, going back to 1987.
The only loss was 2 years ago, right on this field, Mark.
Scott Kavanaugh and the Huskies. He looks to the right side, and it is complete, I believe, to number
great
21,
catch there.
Deegan.
Deegan, yeah, nice play, nice catch.
Complete to number 21.
Nice pass, too.
Deegan.
11-yard catch by Deegan, so it'll be first down and 10 for the Huskies at the 33-yard line.
First and 10 Huskies from the Red Hawk 33-yard line.
Just over 6 minutes to play in the opening half here at Naperville Central. Tom Kukulski split out here on the near side. The give is to or I should say that's Jeremy Walsh, number 23, and he gets brought down at about the 30.
Yeah, misdirection play with Walsh, but Central had penetration in the backfield, and he didn't have an open lane. Tried to make a couple of moves behind the line. Was fortunate to pick up a couple of yards.
Jeremy Walsh, as I understand, quite a soccer player, Jim, and I'm sure Coach Larry McEwen glad that he chose football over soccer. Scott Kavanaugh now under center for Naperville North. In motion is Jurjovic. Fumble, and it looks like Naperville North has recovered.
Yeah, Kavanaugh was looking to toss the ball back to Jurjovic.
Recovered by number 12.
To go around the right side, and he just looked away a split second too soon from center.
Covered by number 21, Jeff Buckler.
Kind of an interesting little side note, Jim. The starting center for Naperville North, Ryan Seipel. Ryan's dad, Bill, is the head baseball coach for Naperville Central.
And a very successful one at that. They've had a good baseball program here for quite a while under Bill.
Kavanaugh's going to go to the air.
Reverse screen, big yardage here.
This is Lavelle Brown to the 20, and beautifully executed play by the Huskies.
I mean, there were only 5 white jerseys on that side of the field, Mark, and he was easily going to pick up the first down. I thought he'd get more yards than he did, but it was a well-designed play, and the Central defense did not react well.
A 15-yard pass completion from Kavanaugh to Lavelle Brown. First and 10 now for the Huskies at the 20-yard line.
I mean, North influenced the Central line to the near side of the field here, and then all the linemen had to do was seal block on the backside, and that play was wide open.
Kukulski split out here on the near side, the inside handoff, and he is met right at the line of scrimmage. No gain. Jeremy Walsh.
Tackle made by number 44, Josh Hawkins.
Josh Hawkins was there defensively.
Assisted by number 48, Brian McNulty.
Scott Kavanaugh so far tonight, 4 of 4 passing for 52 yards, and good quarterbacking runs in the family with Scott Kavanaugh. A 6'3", 180-pound junior. As we mentioned, he does have experience. The backup quarterback last year. In motion is Jurjovic. Jurjovic breaks a couple of tackles in the backfield, and he gets a couple of yards.
Tommy showed his strength that time. He made 2 guys bounce off him behind the line of scrimmage and at the line of scrimmage, and made positive yards out of what should have been a loss or no gain.
Tackle made by number 32, Chad Bissiger.
Chad Bissiger, a 5'10", 191-pound senior, was there for the stop. It's going to be a big stop here for Naperville Central, Joe.
Yeah, it's an important series. Again, you know, if North gets up 14-0, we're almost to the half.
Jurjovic goes in motion once again, and Kavanaugh is going to go to the air. He's got it. No, on the hit. Incomplete pass. A brilliant defensive play there by Central.
Pass ruled incomplete to number 30, Lavelle Brown.
Yeah, Brown was wide open. The ball was just a little late getting there because Kavanaugh threw the ball off his back foot. He had some pressure, and he couldn't put much steam behind it. Otherwise, that would have been a completion, and Brown may have been able to get in for the touchdown. Nice recovery on the defense to make the stick and knock the ball out. So now we're going to try a field goal for North.
Jeff Buckler made that defensive hit for Naperville Central. So now Jeremy Walsh will attempt the field goal. It's up, it's long enough, and it is good.
Yeah, plenty of foot in that one. 10-0 now.
So with 2:48 left to play in the first half, it's Naperville North 10 and Naperville Central nothing. Jim and I will be back right after this.
Driving doesn't just kill drunk drivers. Next time your friend insists on driving drunk, do whatever it takes to stop him.
Back here at Naperville Central, the Huskies, 7 plays. They took up 3 minutes and 41 seconds. A 30-yard field goal by Jeremy Walsh. So with 2:48 left to play here in the first half, it's 10-0. Naperville North on top. Tumulty is back deep for Central. He picks it up from the 15, across the 20.
Got the outside.
Across the 30, and he's brought down at the 33-yard line.
Yeah, the outside was open. He went to go for it. It closed down pretty fast, but it's still a nice return. Puts him in good field position. Plenty of time to get down the field and get a score.
20-yard return by Tumulty. So we'll see if Tim Lavery and Coach Joe Bungie and the Red Hawk offense can get something going here.
Now, the field position again was important there because North started that last drive in Central Territory. Didn't have to go very far, got a couple of first downs, and we're in position for that field goal.
1st and 10. Lavery is going to go to the air. The left-hander is going to go deep across the middle. Really no one in the area there.
Well, Booth was there. I'm not sure if he thought Booth was going to get into the seam a little faster or if he was trying to throw the ball away. But Booth was open.
2nd down and 10 now for Naperville Central as Booth comes out of the ball game now.
It was similar to that seam pass we saw in the East Aurora game where you have the 3 receivers and they just run straight up the field and you try to find one in the seam for a big gainer.
Scherer split here on the near side. Lavery's going to roll out to his left. He fires and the pass is complete.
Lavery pass complete to number 34, Brad Croce.
I'll tell you what,
First down.
Lavery showed some power in the arm on that one, Mark, because that was a bullet.
Jordan DeGiovanni.
1st and 10 now from the 45-yard line of Naperville North. Lavery is going to come here to the near side to Tumulty. He breaks a couple of tackles across to the 36-yard line. Pick up of 8. It'll be 2nd down and a couple. We are at the 2-minute mark of the first half, and Central going their no-huddle offense.
Nice sure tackle by Jordan DeGiovanni on that one on Tumulty. Kept him from picking up a first down.
Lavery on 2nd down and short. He gets flushed out and he is brought down there by Bob Cron. That's 2 sacks so far tonight by Bob Cron. Both of them have been big.
There's another big play we talked about. 2nd and 1. You're driving, trying to get a score before the half, and Cron comes out of nowhere, just keeps pushing up the field, and all of a sudden he's got his arms wrapped around Lavery for a sack.
So that brings us now up a 3rd and 7 situation with a 1:20 left to play here in the first half. Tumulty is the dot in the I formation here. Lavery's going to roll out to the left. He's going to put it up again. Off-balance pass is complete. To Sherry, breaks a couple of tackles. He could go all the way. And he is brought down. A 30-yard catch by Sher.
Lavery is very impressive as a quarterback. He's got an excellent arm. He puts the ball right on the money where it needs to be, and it gets there in a hurry when those receivers are open and they need the ball.
1 minute and 1 second to play here in the first half. There's a timeout. We'll keep it here, Jim. And a beautiful 30-yard pass by Lavery to Jason Scher.
Well, it was a good pass, and then Scher thought about cutting it back inside, then went back to the outside. North did not tackle well, and he was able to pick up about another 10 yards on the side, up the sideline there. And I'm sure that's what Larry McKean is talking to his guys about, is saying, we need to tackle, man. We need to be sure on our tackling. But again, I can't tell you, say over, Lavery is very impressive as a quarterback here. For a high school player, I think he's a junior. Yeah, he's only a junior, but I mean, he throws the ball extremely well for a junior. The ball is right there when the receivers need to have it. They don't have to wait very long for it to get there. It's on a rope most of the time.
There you get a good look at some of the crowd out hand here tonight watching this great game. On the drive so far, Lavery 3 for 3 for 60 yards. So Central looking to put some points on the board as we close out the first half here with a minute and 1 second left to play in the first half. Lavery is going to go to the air again. He's got his man to the 5-yard line.
Lavery pass complete to number 31.
Well-designed play again, Mark, and again, I can't tell you about how good Lavery is as a quarterback, because he's throwing the ball against his body, across his body that time, with a defender bearing in right on him from a blitz situation. Of course, the receiver was wide open. There wasn't good coverage by North on that play, but you know, still, that was an excellent technique and delivery by Lavery of the play.
Chris Van Dyke with the reception. He was brought down by Torrey Landgraf, and now the Redhawks call a timeout. So we'll take a timeout here as well with 53 seconds to play here in the first half. Jim and I will be back with the Huskies leading by a score of 10-0.
What would make this 60-year-old woman reveal her breasts to someone she doesn't know? It would have to be for a very good reason, like getting a mammogram. A doctor told her the older she gets, the higher the risk of breast cancer. But early detection increases her chance of successful treatment. Getting a mammogram might just save her life, especially if you're over 50. Call the American Cancer Society. Early detection is the best protection.
Back here at Naperville Central, 2nd down and 3. Lavery calling out the signals. Long count. The pitch is to Tumulty to the left side, and he's headed for the corner. Touchdown! It was a late call by the official on the far side, but it was the right call. Jim Tumulty with his 7th touchdown of the season.
I thought North had some good pursuit. I don't know if it was Lavelle Brown or who came from the inside, but after pass, Central crossed up North with the toss to Tumulty, and he was able to get the corner because there was no pursuit, or not that there was no pursuit, but the pursuit just couldn't get there in time.
His own point after.
So Jim Tumulty with the touchdown run, and now he is in for the point after attempt. Snap was a little bit high, but Tumulty got it through.
With 47 seconds remaining in the first half.
With 47 seconds
left
to play here in the first half. And Jim, what a big drive for Naperville Central, and what a great job by Tim Lavery, the quarterback.
Yeah, he was the drive there. I mean, he gets MVP award for the drive. Rolled out to the left, to the right, you know, staying in the pocket, delivering the ball, good play selection, you know, good technique. Good routes on the receivers, and then at the end there, you know, Coach Bungie crossed up the North people with a toss to Tumulty after they were, you know, inundated with pass, and he was able to get the corner before the pursuit came from the inside. I mean, we got an excellent ball game, which we knew we were going to have, Mark. I mean, except for that block of the field goal on the first drive, it could easily be a 10-10 ball game as we go into the half. So you know, the second half is going to be very important.
Sellout crowd on hand, and Jim, we're going to have one of those fantastic finishes, I think, here tonight at Naperville Central. Hope you're enjoying this one on our Jones Intercable Sports Game of the Week. 8 plays on that particular drive for Naperville Central. It took 2 minutes and 1 second, 67-yard drive, capped off by Jim Tumulty with a 4-yard touchdown run, and the Redhawks have cut the lead down to 3 now.
Well, there was a penalty, 12 men on the field against the North, and I think what's going to happen is Central's going to take, and I think maybe go for 2 points here, because they're going to get the ball marked at probably the 1.5-yard line. Coach, this is interesting. Coach Bunge's going to take the 1 extra point, it looks like, off the board and go for 2.
This could be a very, very big play here.
Yeah.
So Coach Joe
especially
Bunge,
early in the game. I mean, the first half, take the 10-7, go in, but he's going to try for 10-8. You know, you might think he would do it later on in the game, but he's probably figuring do it earlier, and then I'll have more of a chance to recover if we're not successful.
So they knock off the extra point attempt. It is still 10-6 now, and it looks like Central will go for the 2-point conversion.
Naperville Central Redhawks to go for 2 points on the penalty against the Huskies.
Penalty they're mentioning against Naperville North. Yeah, they're spotting the ball right at about the 1-yard line.
Yeah, it's half the distance here, so it's about at the 1.5 mark.
So Naperville Central now, boy, a big, big play here.
This really goes against conventional wisdom of taking a point or points off the board.
Boy, if they don't get this 2-point conversion, I'm sure Coach Joe Bunge is going to be asked quite a bit of questions.
Well, and again, you know, it could be a momentum thing going into the half that says, you know, we had a point and then we lost it, and, you know, North could take that and use it to their advantage.
Triple option now. Tumulty is back deep. The give is to Tumulty to the left side, and he is in.
Got it.
Let's make it 8 points.
Well, not much mystery there. They had a full house backfield with 2 lead blockers, and Tumulty went off the left side where their strength in the offensive line is. You only got to pick up 1.5 yards. He made it look easy, and Coach Bunge is a genius.
So Coach Joe Bunge elects to go to the 2-point conversion. They convert, and it's 10-8, and we are going to have one heck of a second half here at Naperville Central.
I mean, you know, that shows the intensity, that shows the motivation on the part of both teams there, and that, you know, Coach Bunge has the confidence in his junior-laden roster, both on offense and defense, but they're a good ball club, and he feels very confident about making a move like that because, again, you know, he's seen them move the ball against North. I'm sure he's going to use it as a motivating factor for his team at halftime to say, you know, look, guys, I mean, they've stopped us once, but we've driven on them, and, you know, 2 other occasions, you know, had chances to score the first time and didn't do it, but certainly moved the ball the second time. So we shouldn't be afraid of this team.
For the Redhawks. Deep for the Huskies.
Matt Deegan is back deep for Naperville North. So here's the kick by Tumulty. It's going to be taken by Justin McCreen across the 20-yard line. Justin McCreen.
It'll be interesting to see now what Larry McKean does as far as the last 40 seconds here of the half, whether he tries to move the ball down the field but pass. I think they have all their timeouts left. Maybe, I think they may have used one, but you know, Central used 2 of their timeouts, so they can't really stop the clock too much.
Clock starting now, 34 seconds, 33. It's 10-8 Naperville North. Scott Kavanaugh. And that is number 33, Tom Djurdjevic. A loss of a couple brought down in the backfield.
Yeah, it was interesting. I thought Dave Spiker was going to take the handoff from Kavanaugh because he was standing right there waiting for Djurdjevic to take the ball and tackle him.
This could be the last play of the first half. 6 seconds, 5, and it looks like
they're not going to get another one off. They're going to be content to go in with the lead.
At the end of 1 half.
So we've played 1 half of football here at Naperville Central. The Redhawks with a touchdown in the last couple of moments. The 2-point conversion by Tumulty with 47 seconds left to play in the first half. Coach Joe Bunge's team goes into the locker room trailing by 2. So Jim and I will take this break. We'll be back with second half action from Naperville Central after this break. Stay with us.
Your approach is looking good, Cobra.
The men and women in the National Guard and Reserve face some tough challenges when they serve. Challenges that teach them discipline, leadership, and technical skills that make them better employees. So when they need time off to serve, don't make their toughest challenge approaching you.
My hero? Isaiah Thomas, Kevin Costner, Mr. Wong.
These are teachers, but to the kids they've reached, they're heroes.
My hero? Mrs. Wooten.
If I don't get through to that child, who knows, maybe no one else will.
Teachers have the power to wake up young minds, to be heroes, to make a difference. Reach for that power. Teach. Find out how by calling 1-800-45-TEACH. Be a teacher. Be a hero.
In a life-threatening emergency, you should know what to do. Say a loved one exhibits unusual symptoms. The first thing to do is...
Clear!
No. The first thing to do...
Oh! Tourniquet!
No! The first thing you do is pick up the phone and dial your emergency number.
Call 911 first.
Right.
How about mouth-to-mouth?
I don't think so. To learn more about life-saving techniques, contact your Red Cross.
Lavelle Brown rushed 6 times for 59 yards. Tumulty 13 times for 48 yards.
You can
Both of these two guys pretty much negate each other. It was really Lavery bringing the Redhawks back late in the first half.
Well, the difference is Central had a two-pronged attack with Tumulty on the first drive, gaining 40 of those 48 yards, and then Lavery on the second drive just before the half with his passing. Moving the Redhawks down the field for the touchdown. Brown, other than the 52-yard run, has not been able to get any opening in the line. And Kavanaugh, 4 for 5, tells you that North has not had the ball very long and been able to run a lot of plays.
Number 4, Jim Tumulty, to kick off for the
Redhawks. Is back deep. Tumulty
for the Huskies,
for
number
Naperville
21,
Central
Matt
will
Deegan.
kick off as we are about ready for second half action.
And number 89, Justin McCarrans.
Will have that wind to its back, although the winds have died down quite a bit here since the first half.
Yeah, it's interesting that North had the chance to receive, and Central defended the goal with the wind in their face. So they want the wind at the fourth quarter if there is one, Mark.
Huskies get it up to
return by number 89, Justin McCarran.
Naperville North will take over. 1st and 10.
Tackle made by number 32, Chad.
You know, part of the discussion in the newspapers during the week for this game was the fact that Central uses a two-platoon system, so their defensive players are not on offense. They're not two-way players, while North has two-way players. And the fact that Central had 2 long drives could take its toll in the fourth quarter. We'll have to see.
Split out here on the near side is Matt Deegan. Kavanaugh has passes broken up. A fine defensive play there by number 44, Josh Hawkins.
A nice defensive play that time by Hawkins. Got his hands up in Kavanaugh's face. Kavanaugh was looking at his receiver all the way. Was not able to get the ball to him.
Scott, whose older brother Brian is a backup quarterback for Kansas State. So the quarterbacks runs in the family, in the Kavanaugh family. Said that he talks to his brother every Thursday night, and last night, Jim, his brother said, "You better win this one tonight or else."
Well, this is a big game. Superintendent of the schools, Don Weber, is here as well tonight, so you can tell that it's important for the Naperville. Intercepted.
Picked off. Brian McNulty. He could go all the way. And he gets knocked out of bounds. At the 4-yard line, Brian McNulty with the INT.
Big play to open the second half, just like a couple of weeks ago in the Aurora game. You know, a big turnover, a big play right at the beginning. Coach Bungie is very excited out on the field, raising his arms up for his defense coming off the field. But again, Kavanaugh looking all the way at the receiver, and McNulty stepped right in front and then took the ball down the sidelines almost all the way in for a score.
McNulty returns it 28 yards all the way to the 4-yard line. So now the Redhawks.
Flag on the play, clipping against the Redhawks. Personal foul against the Huskies.
Clipping.
Unfortunately, here offsetting penalties will keep the ball where it is. Otherwise, it could have backed Central up, but still, they're in great position here to take the lead. And now North's defense has to rise to the occasion. I mean, they have to try and enforce Central. Keep them out of the end zone if possible. It's a tough task. But, you know, we talked about that momentum. And, you know, Central had it at the beginning of the game. North took it after the first drive. Central picked it up again at the end of the first half with a touchdown, and then really grabbed the momentum when Coach Bungie took the extra point off the board, the kick by Tumulty, when there was a penalty against North, and let them go in for the two-point conversion, which is where we're at right now, 10-8. So that's why I say Central, you know, decided to kick off. North decided to take the ball. They had the option at the half, and now it's could be a different ball game right here.
Now, Jim, with first and goal, of course, all eyes are going to be on number 4. If you're Coach Joe Bungie, do you do something else, or do you go to your main man here?
Yeah, well, that's why we talked about it. I mean, Tumulty running the ball, Lavery throwing the ball in the first half makes it very difficult for North to key on one player or one set.
It's Tumulty up the middle.
Penalty marker thrown by the referee, probably is a procedure of some kind.
Ball carried by number 4.
Could be a holding call, too, from where they threw the flag.
That was an illegal shift.
Illegal motion to call against the Redhawks.
The Redhawks, so that'll push it back.
You really don't want to have mistakes here. I mean, you got the ball first and goal at the 5-yard line. You don't need penalties. I mean, you want to just gain positive yards. You figure 3 downs or even 4 downs to gain 5 yards when you got the attack that you've demonstrated in the first half, picking up about 160 yards in the air and on the ground. Well, there was one of the reasons maybe they had some of their defensive players. We talked about the fact that they don't play 2-platoon football. They had some of their defensive players in there as lead blockers, and that's probably where the motion came from.
A big interception.
They go back to the standard formation, Mark.
Big interception by Brian McNulty, and now the Redhawks are trying to capitalize. Lavery's rolling out to his left. He's going to the corner.
Lavery pass complete to number 34, Brad Grogan.
Brad Grolke, but again, Lavery demonstrated excellent technique, excellent skills there. Nice fake into the line, held the linebackers, rolled out to the left, and put the ball right on the money mark. I mean, this kid is an excellent quarterback.
Bradley Grolke.
Number 4, Jim Tumulty to attempt the point after.
For the point after attempt. Snap is good, place is good, and the kick is also
good. With 11 minutes and 4 seconds remaining in the third quarter, Naperville North 10, your Redhawks 15. 10.
Jim and I are back after this timeout.
Foods high in vitamin C are another effective weapon in the fight to reduce your cancer risk. To find out more, pick up the phone.
Naperville Central takes the lead here 15-10, with Naperville Central leading the Huskies of Naperville North. Tumulty's kick is a high, deep kick taken at the 10-yard line to the 20, to the 25, and he's brought down at the 27-yard line.
Kick return by number 21, Matt Deegan,
trailing
by number 7, Rocky O'Shea.
Huskies trail in this one.
Central takes advantage of the Brian McNulty interception. 2 plays, 9 yards, 28 seconds, put it in for the touchdown, which is what they wanted to do. You know, we talked a little bit about it at the beginning of the second half. Naperville North has traditionally been known as a very good ground control, ball control team that can eat up yardage on the ground. They need to get a running game going.
So now the Huskies offense tries to get going.
By number 33, Tom Jurjevic.
Jurjevic Picks up about 3 yards. It'll be 2nd down and 7.
Well, the fact that they give the ball the first running play to Tom Djurdjevic instead of their key man, Lavelle Brown, tells you something that, you know, they're trying to get away from the double teaming maybe against Brown. The fact that he really was not successful except for that one play. North really needs to get the momentum back here and get their composure.
Brown is the lone setback. The pitch is to number 23, Jeremy Walsh, and he is stopped right at the line of scrimmage. He'll bring up 3rd down.
Caught from behind by number 48, Brian McNulty.
Brian McNulty, the big senior, was there on the stop.
Well, North is in danger here of going 3 downs and out and having to punt the ball back to a very fired up Naperville Central ball club.
Split out here on the near side is Matt Deegan.
Out of room here. He's one-on-one with this
Kavanaugh's looking
receiver.
for Deegan. He dumps it off underneath. And he's
nice short of a 1st down.
At the 35-yard line, well short of the 1st down.
Tackle made by number
Jeremy Walsh with the
Nick
catch.
Paleo.
Might be close enough to measure.
Nick Paleo was there on the stop for Naperville Central. Paleo, who had a big week last week defensively with 6 solo tackles and 5 assists. He's Central's leading tackler so far this year.
North ran the play there where they had Deegan, who was Kavanaugh's favorite receiver, here to the near side, Mark, and then they just let him run up the field. It was a wide open side of the field, so they let him run up, clear out the zone, and then they brought Walsh in underneath in a little down and out pattern, and he is a little short, about the length of the football.
Just a reminder that tonight's game is being brought to you by Domino's Pizza at 152 Gardner Road in Naperville. 3-5.
Looks like they're going to go for it, Mark.
21. There you see it. Nobody knows like Domino's Pizza. All right.
This is a big play. Yep. 4th and the length of a football.
Sure is, Jim. This crowd is getting into it. Both sides are up on their feet. 4th down and inches.
This is Coach McKeon's way of trying to get back the momentum from what Coach Bungie did at the end of the half, going for the 2 points, taking the point off the board. He's challenging his team and the Central team right here on this play.
Officials timeout.
The officials are going to call timeout momentarily to get
they're
things,
trying to get the players off the field. They're pretty excited.
Get things settled out on the Central sidelines there. Everybody on the edge on this particular play.
See if Brown gets the ball or Kavanaugh just takes it on a sneak and doesn't try to make an exchange in the backfield, because Brown has had a tough time getting yardage.
Don't think it's going to be anything pretty here, Jim. Straight up the middle from either Kavanaugh or possibly Brown, as Jim mentioned. We'll take a look here. 4th and inches. Kavanaugh will take it himself, and I believe he's going to get the first down, Jim.
Smart play right there. Kavanaugh's a big enough guy. All he has to do is get the center exchange clean, fall forward to pick up the length of a football. So, while it was a calculated risk on the part of Coach McKeon, it was a pretty high percentage calculated risk, because, like I said, the only thing that could go wrong is a center snap there.
1st and 10 now for Coach McKeon and his Huskies, trailing by 5. Split out here on the near side is Matt Deegan. Lavelle Brown is the lone setback as Kavanaugh goes to the air.
Got a man open. He's got a man open. There he is.
He's got his man. Pass is complete
to number 23, Jeremy Walsh.
That's Jeremy Walsh, number 23.
Number 22, Dylan Thomas.
A 32-yard pass completion from Kavanaugh to Jeremy Walsh.
Yeah, you saw it all the way there, Mark. Walsh went right up the seam as a slot man, and the defender kind of let him go. I'm not sure if he thought he was going to have help behind him or if he just got beat on the play, but that one was right there, and Kavanaugh picked him up, laid the ball. Matter of fact, it was a little behind him. If it had been out ahead, Walsh may have been able to get more yardage.
Deegan once again split out here on the near side. Handoff is ahead. He is met right at the line of scrimmage by
ball carried by number 33,
Central defenders, Jeff Buckler. was there among others.
Made by number 54, Dave Spiker.
That was Spiker again, just like in the first half, where he's just waiting there for Djurdjevic to come around after receiving the handoff. And the play really had nowhere to go on that. If you notice, Kavanaugh's limping a little bit too, Mark. You notice that Central in their defense, as Kavanaugh comes up under center, as he starts to call out signals, they rotate their defense from one side of the field to the next, and I think they're trying to confuse him a little bit.
Split out on the far side is Kukulski. Over here on the near side is Deegan. Walsh in motion, and we're going to have a flag.
Left tackle move.
And offsides call against the Huskies of Naperville North. Just over 8 minutes to play here in the third quarter. It's been one whale of a DuPage Valley Conference contest.
Yeah, this is the kind of drive that Naperville North really wants to have. They want to grind it out. They want to move the ball down the field. They want to stem the tide of the Naperville Central momentum and the excitement of the crowd and the players, and get it in position. You know, touchdown would be great. Field goal would be fine too, because it would bring them, you know, right only 2 points behind. So this is the kind of thing that North has been.
The Huskies trailing by 5 here. The wind has picked up quite a bit here, Jim. Now it is at the Huskies' back.
Yeah, they really want to take advantage of it here, especially if they have to try a field goal.
Walsh and Kukulski are split out on the far side. Deegan is here on the near side. It's Kavanaugh.
Straight pass here. He's got to play.
Dumps it off.
Block.
To Lavelle Brown. Brown to the 32-yard line.
Looks like he got back to about the original line of scrimmage.
To number 30.
Got back the 5-yard penalty mark.
Tackle made by number 37,
being played here tonight at Naperville Central. Other action in the DuPage Valley Conference. Wheaton North is at West Chicago. Glenbard North is at Glenbard East, and Wheaton Warrenville South is hosting Glenbard South. Week number 4 of the IHSA season, Jim.
That play looked like it was going to pick up a lot more yards than it did, and I'm sure that's what Naperville North wanted to do. They wanted to get it 3rd and about 6 as opposed to 3rd and 12.
Kavanaugh looking to the right side once again. Pass is complete at the 20-yard line.
Short of a first down. He might have it. He might have it, Mark. The second effort of Walsh getting around the corner. Yep, picked up big first down there. Big first down.
An 18-yard pass completion to Matt Deegan. And a big first down, Jim, at the spot at the 19-yard line.
Yeah, and that's what champions are made of. I mean, to be able to come back from a hole, 3rd and long, pick it up. That was a long play. Kavanaugh had to throw from one side of the field to the other, and then Walsh had to make the reception and turn it upfield and pick up the rest of the yardage for first down.
Djurdjevic, the inside handoff, and he gets about 10 down to the 10-yard line.
Carried by number 33.
Pick up of maybe 9. It'll be second down and
by
short.
Number 48, Brian McNulty.
Yeah, you're right, Mark. That was the inside handoff as opposed to the wide play where Spiker has been able to shut it down. Djurdjevic took it inside, and the hole was there, and he hit the hole at the right time, turned it upfield. Nice gain.
Well, I tell you, we are seeing one heck of a football game on both sides of the football. Both teams are really giving us a good show here tonight. Kavanaugh under center. To Lavelle Brown up the middle, and he gets about 4 or 5 down to about the 6-yard line.
Yeah, he's got the first down, and that's really what they wanted to do. They wanted to make sure that they got positive yardage. If nothing else, they wanted to get a first down.
And Lavelle Brown is down, Jim. He is down and not getting up, so this could be a damaging blow to the Huskies.
Well, he got hit, you know, in the thigh area, and it could be a problem there. And it was a good tackle by the Central player, but it probably was helmet right on the thigh.
Lavelle Brown, who plays on both sides of the ball for Naperville North, one of the key players on this Naperville North football team.
Yeah, his loss could be, you know, very painful for both sides, defense and offense. Hopefully he's not hurt seriously.
Should mention the fine crew on our Jones Intercable Sports Game of the Week here tonight. Richard Davis, Tim Valentine, Todd Becker, and Farrell on graphics, and of course our producer-director Lisa Prade, along with our statistician Todd Kibbe and Jim Provecchio. Mark Kruger bringing you all the action here on our Jones Intercable Sports Game of the Week, and we hope you're enjoying this one just as much as we enjoy bringing it to you. Tonight's game scheduled to air Saturday, September 17th at 1 p.m. Also on Monday, September 19th at 6 p.m. Can't catch either one of those two dates. Catch the highlights on NBC's Prep Watch Sunday night at 10:30. For more information, call us at 961-9875.
He might have just had the wind knocked out of him too, Mark. He's up and running off the field under his own power, so that's a good sign. You know, North has had the ball so far 10 plays. They've driven over 60 yards. They started this at their 26-yard line, and they're controlling the clock, and this is the kind of drive that Naperville North wanted to have right here and right now after Central took the lead on that interception and short touchdown pass by Lavery.
Under 6 minutes to play, third quarter. It's 15-10 in favor of Naperville Central. Kavanaugh, toe number 21.
Touchdown,
Matt
fade pass.
Deegan. Touchdown, Naperville North.
Great pass, great touch, great route. Matt Deegan, his favorite receiver. Now, one-on-one coverage, there's not much you can do. A fade pattern, and Kavanaugh put the ball right where it needed to be, to the outside of the play, so that if Deegan wasn't going to catch it, nobody was. And North comes right back with a big touchdown.
Beautiful touch by Scott Kavanaugh to Matt Deegan, the 5'10 senior.
Let's see now. It looks like North is debating and might be going for two.
Decision time now for Coach Larry McKeon. North leads it by 1 at this point, 16-15. And now they're going to go for 2, Jim.
Well, if he gets the 1-point conversion, Central can still...
Kavanaugh just out of the reach of Matt Deegan, but the Huskies tied it by 1.
Yeah, tried to fade pattern again, and nothing to lose there, because even if they kick the extra point, they're only ahead by 2, and Central could take the lead on a field goal. So he was playing the percentages, and it almost worked in their favor, but they've got the lead back.
So we'll take a timeout here as Naperville North recaptures the lead. They lead it by 1, 16-15. Jim and I are back right after this timeout.
Oh, hey, what's going on? Shh, Smokey's coming.
What are you guys up to?
Oh.
Be careful with matches and campfires. Remember, only you can prevent forest fires.
Sorry, force of habit.
Bummer.
Ah, that's my nephew Scruff reading that comic book.
Improving my mind.
Give me your magic zapper and I'll improve your mind.
Hey, that's me!
Look inside. It's about the adventures you have coming home from school.
Uh-oh.
It gives tips on what to do about bullies, finding drugs, or trouble on the bus. And it shows what happens to Scruff.
What happens? What happens?
You'll see. For your free copy, write McGruff, Chicago, Illinois, 60652, and help me take a bite out of crime.
What happens? What happens?
Kavanaugh, as Naperville North leads by 1, 16-15 on that drive. Kavanaugh 5 for 7 for 57 yards, a 7-yard touchdown pass to Tom Deegan.
Well, Kavanaugh came out.
Matt Deegan, Jim. Matt Deegan, I'm sorry.
Kavanaugh came out, and I mean, he delivered there on the drive, just like last week against Wheaton South. They needed a drive. He directed it, showed his leadership. And now the defense has to take over.
5:41 left to play here in the third quarter. Tumulty from the goal line, and it's going to be a touchback now as Naperville Central will take over first and 10.
Redhawks will begin first and 10 from their own 20-yard line.
People might be wondering what happened there, but Tumulty got the ball in the field of play, and his momentum carried him into the end zone, and that's an automatic touchback. That's why he couldn't bring it out.
So now we'll see if Tim Lavery can come back.
Lavelle Brown's not in on defense, Mark, so they're holding him out still a little bit, looks like.
Scher is split out here on the near side. The give is to Tumulty, and he is gang tackled and a fumble. It's loose at the line of scrimmage.
Ball carried by number 4, Jim Tumulty.
I believe it came right back up into Tumulty's
Tackle made by
hands.
number 77,
second
Brad
down and
Sabdo.
10. No gain there for Tumulty. Second down and 10.
This game has been a series of shifts, Mark. I mean, you know, momentum shifts, advantage shifts, field position, things like that. And here's another one facing Central and North right here. You know, North needs to stop them, force a punt into the wind, and Central obviously wants to move the ball.
We'll see
try and get another score.
See if Tim Lavery goes to the air once again. Instead, he's going to pitch a reverse. This is Scher.
Uh-oh. North is waiting right there for him.
Nothing going there as the Husky defense stood their ground.
Number 22, John Slutty.
Well, not only was there Naperville North had that one diagnosed, they had 2 players there waiting. He got around the first one, but couldn't shake the second one. So that play was going nowhere.
A 13-yard loss on that reverse.
And there's the shift that we were just talking about right before that play, Mark. Now they're third and a long way to go, deep in their territory against the wind.
Kevin Jerwig is split out here on the near side along with Tumulty. Lavery is going to the air. Under heavy pressure, he lets it fly. Overthrown. The intended receiver was Jim Tumulty.
For number 4, Jim
Yeah, nothing to lose there. It's
complete.
as good as a punt if it gets intercepted. And obviously, if Tumulty completes it, he's got clear sailing.
21.
And so now Naperville North should get very good field position with, again, the wind at their back now. Is back deep for the Huskies is Matt Deegan, number 21. He's joined back there by Jordan DeJovene.
Number 53, Nick Paleo, back to punt for the Redhawks. Deep for the Huskies, number 21, Matt
Nick Paleo
Deegan.
is punting from the end
And
zone.
number 10, Jordan DeJovene.
Ooh, a high snap, but Paleo gets it and punts it. A beautiful punt. Deegan lets it roll, and
it's going to get a nice bounce.
It goes all the way back to the 28-yard line. A 62-yard punt by Nicholas Paleo against the wind, Jim.
Well, I mean, here's another shift.
Punt by number 53.
Paleo, the ball almost goes over his head. He's lucky to get up there and catch the ball. And then he gets a nice punt off, and Deegan, doesn't go back to try and catch it. He watches it go over his head, and it gets a Central bounce. So now the momentum shifts back in Central's favor, and they're sky high, and North gets the ball again. Not bad field position, but obviously not where they expected to get it. They expected to have the ball at midfield or in Central territory.
So the Huskies with the ball, leading by 1, 16-15. The Redhawks looking for the stop defensively, and a fumble.
Fumble on the play.
Kavanaugh, I believe, came back up with it. It'll be second down and 10.
Now Lavelle Brown's back in on offense, Mark.
Well, the way this game is going, Jim, one costly mistake could cost you the ball game here tonight.
Well, we've already had one. I mean, North with the interception and gave that second touchdown to Central to start the second half.
Making a loss of 1.
You have 2 good teams like this playing as well as they have been and are tonight. Obviously, turnovers mean the difference.
Coming up in the 3-minute mark in the third quarter. Kavanaugh goes to the air. It is incomplete.
Kavanaugh
The intended receiver was Jeremy Walsh.
Matt Deegan.
The spiker was in giving pressure and actually got to Kavanaugh just after he released the ball. That play was a tough play because there was good coverage by Central.
So it'll be third down and 11 for Naperville North. Kavanaugh has had a couple of big plays so far tonight. Another big one here, third down and 11. Big stop here for Naperville Central if they can do it. He's going to roll out here to the near side. Flag of the play.
It's going to come back, though, Mark.
They have the first down, but the flag in the backfield.
Jason Murr from Central got through, and there were 2 Naperville North guys. He was trying to split them, and both of them reached back and held on to him. Both the referee and the umpire threw the flag, so that play's coming back.
So with the holding penalty now against Naperville North, it'll be 3rd and very long, 3rd and 21.
Well, let's see what happens here. This is just like Central after the reverse that was tackled for a big loss. Naperville North has a long way to go here on 3rd down from deep in their territory.
A special dollar discount off the $3 admission. Best of all,
This is 3rd and about 25, Mark.
2 minutes and 50 seconds to play here in the 3rd quarter. 3rd and long for Naperville North. Scott Kavanaugh. Under pressure, and he is sacked.
Kavanaugh sacked by number 32, Chad Bissiger.
Number 32, Chad Bissiger, also David Spiker were there defensively to bring down Kavanaugh, and the Huskies are going to have to punt.
Dave Spiker's having an excellent game. He spent a lot of time in the Naperville North backfield tackling Husky players for losses. Was there on another one. You know, North has got 4 penalties tonight for 36 yards. And that was a big one there, that holding penalty. And now the loss. Now they're in the hole. Djurdjevic needs a good punt here. But Central should get the ball. Very good position in North territory.
Back to punt for the Huskies. Tom Djurdjevic. Deep for the Central is Tumulty. Gets it away. Tumulty from the 40-yard line to the 35, to the 30. Got some room on the far side, to the 20. All the way down to the 5-yard line. A 31-yard return by Jim Tumulty, and Naperville Central is looking to take the lead.
Well, there's the difference again. On the punt, Djurdjevic went up to get the ball, saved it from being a safety, got the kick off, but it was not as good a kick as the Central one prior to that. And Tumulty was able to catch it on the run, get to the sideline,
32-yard punt return,
and almost took it all the way for the touchdown before he was finally stopped inside the 10.
Mike Rank made the stop for the Huskies.
You know, it makes it easy, Mark, when you have, you know, drives that are only 7 yards or 9 yards like the previous one after the interception. You really can score some touchdowns, put the game out of reach.
1st and goal. Tumulty drags a couple of Husky defenders. Yeah, still.
I'm not sure.
Gets about 3 yards on the play.
Yeah, it was almost like rugby there, Mark, with a scrum. You know, just you saw the pile moving, but you didn't see Tumulty, and the referees didn't blow the whistle, so the play kept moving forward.
Tackled by inertia.
So
that's the yeah, the PA announcer had a good one, tackled by inertia there, because that's the only thing that brought him down.
2nd down and goal now for Naperville Central. Lavery. The give is to Tumulty, and he's met right at the line of scrimmage. No gain for Central.
Now once again, they've got Brian McNulty from defense in on offense here as a lead blocker, and they're trying to follow him off the left side. And I think North recognizes that and obviously are keying their defense to that. So now here's a 3rd down play, 3rd and about 5.
Lavelle Brown came up from the linebacking spot to make the tackle there. 3rd and goal now from the 5.
I don't know if they'll get this play off or not before the quarter.
It looks like they just do get it off.
He might have the corner. He's got it. Good lead block.
Touchdown, Naperville Central. They just barely got the playoff at the end of this 3rd quarter, and Tumulty goes to the left side and gets it across.
Well, Brian McNulty did what he was in there to do. He had a great kick-out block on the corner, and Tumulty, being a good runner that he is, instead of trying to go wide, he cut back behind that block of McNulty and went right in the end zone for the touchdown on the 3rd down play. Great block, great cutback run.
So it's 21-16 now in favor of Naperville Central, and Jim Tumulty will try to finish it off here with the extra point attempt. The ball game we got going here at Naperville Central. Tumulty's extra point attempt is good. So we've played 3 quarters here at Naperville Central with the host Redhawks. leading Naperville North by a score of 22-16. Folks, stick around. We've got the final quarter coming up right after these words.
Remember how good it felt the first time you gave 5? Well, now there's another way to give 5. Set a goal to give more. 5 hours a week and 5% of your income to the causes you care about. It'll make you feel like a winner every day of your life. So give more. Give 5. Call 1-800-55-GIVE-5.
Back here at Naperville Central as we are about ready to begin fourth quarter action, and who else but Jim Tumulty will kick off for Naperville Central. Jim with 2 5-yard touchdown runs, and that's going to be a touchback by Naperville North. And Jim, I'll tell you what, it's been the Jim Tumulty show offensively for Naperville Central.
I mean, the guy does everything. I mean, there's nothing that he doesn't do. He doesn't play quarterback, but he doesn't need to because Lavery is an excellent quarterback, too.
So he's following in the footsteps of his brother, Scott Tumulty, who's an All-American running back for Augustana.
I mean, it's scary to think that Central is made up of juniors. The fact that they're playing as well as they are this year and that these guys are back again next year has got to be frightening for the rest of the DuPage Valley Conference.
So, Jim, as we seesaw back and forth, it's time for the Huskies now. As Scott Kavanaugh will take it himself, and he gets up to about the 30-yard line, right at the first down marker.
Page out of the Ryan Firstenow book when he was quarterback in North, a little bit of the option play because he was such a good runner. That was an important play for North in their arsenal. But with Kavanaugh being more of a passing quarterback, it's the first time we've seen it tonight.
Along with our producer-director Lisa Aprati, our statistician Todd Kibbe, and Jim Porvecchio, Mark Kruger bring you all the action here in our Jones Intercable Sports Game of the Week. We hope you're enjoying it. This is Djurdjevic across to the right side. The far side, he's got some running room. Brought down at the 44-yard line. Another big gain for the Huskies.
I mean, this could be a game where the team with the ball last wins.
The way this one could be going is a 15-yard run and another Husky first down. And we're going to have an officials
I think we've got an injured player for North, one of the linemen. The referee noticed it right away, and we've got a substitution coming in. Yeah, and the player is going to go off the field now, Mark. Number 60, it looks like.
Number 60 for Naperville North. Can you get a name on that?
Brian Eck. He was a little shaken up. Good job there by the referee to notice that before he marked the ball ready for play so that they can get the player off the field and he doesn't hurt himself.
Starting offensive guard for the Huskies. He goes off under his own power. It looks like he's going to be all right. So it's Kavanaugh and the Huskies. He was going to pitch, but he gets tackled in the backfield.
Keeper by number 12, Scott
On the option, he decided not to pitch it back to Jeremy Walsh, and he gets dropped for a 3-yard loss.
Sack made by number 44, Josh Hawkins, assisted by number 54, Dave Spiker.
Dave Spiker again, tackle for loss. That's at least the 4th or 5th one that I remember his name being called on, where he's made tackles for losses.
Naperville Central with a 6-point lead, 22-16. 10.5 minutes left to play in regulation.
See how Central brings McNulty up to the line. They put him into the hole.
Djurdjevic on the inside handoff, and he is brought down by Chad Bissiger.
Number 32, Chad
You see how Central lines up on defense, and when Kavanaugh brings North to the line, he gets under center. Brian McNulty's been jumping in a 3-point stance, a down lineman from his linebacking position right in the center to try and confuse the Husky blocking scheme.
Under 10 minutes to play. It's 3rd down and 11. Djurdjevic goes in motion. Kavanaugh is going to the air. He's flushed out. He's going to take it himself. He's got the first down and more. First down,
he saw it right away, Mark. Saw the opening right there.
Picked up by number 21, Jeff Butler.
Realized that he wasn't going to be able to have a good chance of getting the ball upfield on the pass, but he saw the opening in the center, made a nice cut to the left to evade 2 defenders and get enough yardage for the first down on a big 3rd and 12.
A 15-yard gain on a 3rd and 12 situation to give the Huskies another first down. So here comes Naperville North back on the attack, trailing by 6. Lavelle Brown is stopped in the backfield, a loss of 2. Good defensive pursuit that time by the Red Hawks.
Ball carried by number 30, Lavelle Brown. Tackle made by number 44,
Josh Hawkins on the tackle. And Lavelle Brown has not had any running room tonight at all, except for the 1 touchdown run. He really has been bottled up.
We are at the 9-minute mark. 2nd down and 12 for the Huskies. Djurdjevic goes in motion. Kavanaugh to the air. And it is incomplete. Good coverage there by the Red Hawks. The pass intended by Matt Deegan.
21, Matt Deegan. Defended by
We'll bring up a 3rd down in another 12 situation, Jim. Once again, 3rd and 12.
Yeah, Kavanaugh's paying the price. I mean, he got decked from behind that time by Josh Hawkins coming from the backside. Again, the ball was just a little out of the reach of the receiver.
And Kavanaugh is limping very noticeably out there.
Incomplete.
He's standing in the pocket. He doesn't seem to be as mobile maybe as Lavery to get away from the rush. He likes to be a pocket passer, and he's paying the price.
Djurdjevic in motion, Kavanaugh, and it looks like there's going to be procedure. Looks like some motion.
Yeah, this is going to be against North.
On the play.
Kavanaugh knew it right away. There's the call against Naperville North. Offsides against the Huskies.
3rd and 17.
So that'll push them back 5. It'll be 3rd down and 17 now for the Huskies. And now this Naperville Central crowd trying to urge the defense on. 3rd and 17. Tom Kukulski split out here on the near side for Coach Larry McKeon. Kavanaugh gets flushed out. He gets it off.
How did he get away?
Complete. And he gets brought back, and it's going to be very close to the first down, Jim.
Well, he had the first down, and his momentum, he was knocked backwards, and then he tried to escape the defenders. They're going to mark it short this time, but I don't know how Kavanaugh got away from the rush. He looked like he was going to be sacked by 2 or 3 players, and he got the ball upfield. Walsh had the first down. He was right at the sticks. But it's going to be short by about 3 or 4 yards. So again, big 4th down play here.
A 14-yard gain on the play. This, no doubt, is the play of the game here. 4th down and 3. Split out on the far side is Deegan. Over here on the near side is Kukulski. Kavanaugh gives it to Djurdjevic. And a flag.
We've got flags.
And I don't know, but I think there was...
Central called timeout.
So Central calls a timeout. We'll take a timeout here as well. With 7 minutes and 50 seconds left to play in regulation, it's Naperville Central 22 and Naperville North 16. Jim and I are back right after this timeout.
Because disaster strikes someone every single day, there's always going to be one more night someone needs food, shelter, and a place to rest. Please support the American Red Cross. Because without your help, one more night could be hard to come by.
Si usted cree que no hay un bosque que pueda quemarse, si usted cree que este lugar es un producto de su imaginación, tiene razón. Cuando vaya a acampar, siempre apague su fogata con tierra, arena o agua. Recuerde, solo usted puede prevenir incendios.
This game is being brought to you by Domino's Pizza at 152 Gardner Road in Naperville. Watch it here. 4th down and 3 for Naperville North. Kavanaugh rolls out to the right, looking to find room. Thrown intended for Georgievic, and Naperville Central will take over on downs.
I thought he was going to try and run for the ball, Mark. He had Lavelle Brown and a lineman out there on the lead block, and I thought he was going to try and take it on an option and get the 3 yards, and even at the end there, maybe cut it upfield. But at the last minute, he saw Georgievic behind, tried to get the ball to him. Unfortunately, it was a little overthrown. You know, we talked about it at the break. With as much time left on the clock and only down by 6, that you might want to punt the ball there. But we're not going to second-guess Coach McKean. I mean, he showed the confidence in his offense, you know, to get the job done, and he also showing confidence in his defense here that says, I know you guys can stop and we'll get the ball back with good field position.
Well, now it's 7:44 left to play. Jim, let me ask you, this first play is Tumulty, and he gets about 1. It'll be 2nd down and 9 if you're Coach Joe Bungie. Offensively, do you try to be a little conservative? Because, hey, there's still quite a bit of clock left. A lot of time left to play in this one, Jim.
Well, I don't think you need to be conservative. Yeah, I mean, your offense has shown that they can move the ball. I mean, Lavery has been able to pass the ball. He's got a good arm. Tumulty has been able to give up or pick up, you know, good yardage on the ground. You do want to try and pick up a 1st down or 2, use the clock, and if you have to punt, make North go a long way, 80, 90 yards with the ball after they get it back. You don't want a turnover here.
Coming up on 7 minutes left to play in regulation. Naperville Central leading by 6. They've got the ball. It's Tumulty, and he has wrestled down a gain of about 2 yards.
See, Mark, in answer to your question, here's where we're going to find out if Coach Bungie's going to play a conservative or not, because he's got a 3rd and about 6 or 7 yards. You know, do you run the ball with Tumulty when North obviously knows he's going to get the ball, or do you roll Lavery out and then look for a pass from him to either Scherer or Booth?
All right, they break huddle. Scherer over here on the near side, split wide to the left is David Booth. Passing situation, Lavery going to the air. He's looking for Scherer. And it is complete, I believe.
Lavery pass complete.
1st down.
Number 2, Jason Scherer.
Jason Scherer at the 49-yard line. 1st down, Naperville Central.
Yeah, he had the defender, Matt Deegan, on him, and Scherer just came down and came right face-to-face with Deegan and used him to not necessarily push off, but to get himself off and square out to the sideline. And again, Lavery delivered the ball right on time, right where it needed to be, when it needed to be there, and that's why it was a completion.
Coming up on the 6-minute mark. Boy, that was a big 1st down, a 10-yard pass completion. 1st and 10 now, Naperville Central, and they're going to try to run some more clock. Under 6 minutes to play. Lavery gives it to Tumulty. He gets about 2. It'll be 2nd down and 8.
Number 4, Jim Tumulty. Tackle made by number 95.
As I mentioned, Naperville North has had the best of Naperville Central lately. They've won 7 of the last 8 games. Central won back here, as Jim mentioned, a couple of years ago.
You look down the road a little bit, Mark. Central has to play Wheaton South. You know, I mean, this race is really a wide open one with Wheaton South, Naperville North, Naperville Central, all demonstrating that they have the ability to beat anybody at any time.
Lavery's pass is complete, and it's another 1st down for Naperville Central.
Lavery is the difference tonight, Mark. I mean, he's the difference on both sides of the ball. You know, Kavanaugh's having a good game for North, but Lavery is definitely the difference. He's allowing Tumulty to get some yardage on the ground, but he's picked up some big 1st downs with his left arm.
Brad Gulke was the receiver who brought that one down. 1st and 10 now for Naperville Central. Split out here on the near side is Jason Scherer. Tumulty is the dot in the I formation. Lavery. The pitch is to Tumulty to the right side, and he gets across the 30 down to the 28.
Looks like a hold.
Ball carried by number 4, Jim
I think they'll bring this one back. Holding against Naperville Central.
Preliminary call, holding against the Redhawks.
That's one thing that has hurt Naperville Central tonight, has been the penalties.
Yeah, and the big thing there is it stops the clock. It negates, you know, a short gain on the 1st down. puts you 15 yards further back, you know, with a 1st and long. You really don't want to make mistakes now. A drive like this is one where you have to, you know, become error-free, move the ball, use the clock, just grind it out. I mean, the ball game is yours. You don't want to give it away.
Tim Lavery on the night, having a great night, 14 for 17 for 152 yards. No interceptions, and that's the key, Jim. He's staying within himself, not making the mistakes.
Right.
Just over 4 minutes, 4:10 left to play, and Jason Scher turns to the official and calls timeout.
Joe Bungie yelled to him to call timeout, and that's why he did it. I got to say, Mark, these two quarterbacks tonight, Lavery and Kavanaugh, I mean, these are the two best quarterbacks I've seen in one game in a long, long time in the high school level. They are doing an excellent job in directing their team's attacks and moving their team.
All right, Jim, we'll take a break here with 4 minutes and 13 seconds left to play. Naperville Central leads at 22-16. We're back in a moment.
The winning raffle ticket could put you in reach of such sites as...
Your first time as a Junior Achievement Elementary School volunteer can be a little scary. Can you get kids that young to think about their futures? Call us about volunteering, and you'll see. We'll supply you with training for this new program, and the kids will supply plenty of motivation.
Jim Provecchio, Mark Kruger back at Naperville Central, 1st and 17 for Naperville Central. Lavery, the pump fake, he's going deep. Scher, he's got it! He's got it! And he's brought out of bounds at the 4-yard line! And what a fake by Lavery, Jim!
Excellent technique. You know, I talked about it before we went to commercial. Both quarterbacks have demonstrated, you know, great ability tonight in directing their team's attacks. But obviously, Tim Lavery has, you know, got a little bit more going for him tonight.
A 35-yard pass completion from Tim Lavery to Jason Scher. Scher is Lavery's #1 receiver on the pump fake. And it's 1st and goal now from the 5, and all eyes will be on number 4. Lavery gives it to Tumulty, but there's movement, and Tumulty moved in the backfield.
Yeah, and the North players were pointing it out to the officials, wondering why they didn't throw the flag. I think the referee realized that, you know, that was it. Tumulty was trying to get his momentum moving forward, and obviously he was anxious to get the ball because he knew his number was called. But that was an obvious one right there for a procedure penalty. But
offsides, Redhawks.
Redhawks offsides. It'll be 1st and goal back from the 10. But what a tremendous play call, too, from Coach Joe Bungie. Tim Lavery with a pump fake, and Jason Scher with a 35-yard pass reception.
Well, here's a situation where, again, if you're Naperville Central, you want to make sure that you don't make any mistakes. If you're not going to get the touchdown, you want to get the field goal here.
Scher is split wide here to the right side. Lavery gives it to Tumulty. Tumulty to the left side, and he's going to score! Jim Tumulty puts Naperville Central on top, 28-16.
Yeah, again, great lead blocking from Brian McNulty, and the rest of the Red Hawk line just opened a big hole. Tumulty went in untouched. And as I said, you know, he just didn't want to make any mistakes there, because even a field goal would have meant that Naperville North would have needed 2 scores to beat you. Now, that's going to be pretty tough.
Number 4, Jim Tumulty.
So Jim Tumulty with his 3rd touchdown.
I mean, Jim Tumulty he's got all the points. I mean, they should take the scoreboard and change it from Naperville Central and just say Jim Tumulty has got 28 and Naperville North's got 16. Now he's going for 29.
Holding for Tumulty is Rocky O'Shea. The extra point is up, and it is good.
I mean, there shouldn't be any reason why this guy doesn't lead the conference in scoring.
So we'll take timeout with 4 minutes and 1 second left to play. It's Naperville Central 29, the Huskies of Naperville North 16. We're back in a moment.
dances with the waters, which brings the rain that feeds the land, that is home to the animals. All life dances together.
In a world so connected, choosing one environmental cause can be hard. Earthshare is 40 environmental charities working together. You and your company can help by calling 1-800-MY-SHARE.
All life lives, or doesn't, together.
Back here at Naperville Central. Kick taken at the 5 to the 15 to the 20, and he is brought down by 4 or 5 Central defenders. That drive for the Redhawks, 64-yard drive, 3 minutes and 43 seconds it took him. Topped off by Tumulty's 3rd touchdown of the night, that one from 11 yards out. I tell you, Jim Tumulty and the Naperville Central Redhawks certainly have lived up to the challenge here tonight. 3:48 and counting for Naperville North. Kavanaugh will take it himself. That snap from center wasn't handled real good.
Had a little hand problem there on the exchange and decided just to keep it himself and go forward with a smart play by Kavanaugh. And that's what we said all night, Mark. I mean, both these quarterbacks are very good. I mean, these are the 2 best quarterbacks in the same game at the high school level I can never remember seeing.
So Kavanaugh to the air, to the far side, it's picked off. Intercepted by Naperville Central.
I think it was Nick Paleo.
That was Nicholas Paleo with the interception. A 25-yard return from Nicholas Paleo on the interception. And Jim, this one is in the books.
Yeah, the second mistake that Kavanaugh's made tonight. He threw the ball into coverage. You know, we're just talking about, you know, what a good leader he is. And last week, obviously, against Wheaton South demonstrated that. But that time he tried to force the ball into some coverage. Paleo was right there in the line of fire and was able to just, all he had to do was catch the ball.
So now it'll be 1st and 10 as Naperville Central will try to run the clock out. And this is Tumulty, and he is met in the backfield by a host of Husky defenders, a loss of about 4 on the play. It'll be 2nd down and 14.
Ran into Lavelle Brown there, and I mean, Lavelle's got to be frustrated because he really hasn't touched the ball that much tonight. Under 10 times he's carried the ball. Other than the 52-yard touchdown run early, he really hasn't had much running room, so he'd like to make a play on defense, I'm sure, and tried to rip the ball out of Tumulty's hands at times, but at least made the tackle behind the line of scrimmage.
2nd down and 14 now. Lavery split out here on the near side is Scheer, 3 wide receivers. Tumulty split out here also. Lavery is going to go to Corey Stevens, and he goes up the middle for a couple yards. Just over 2 minutes. 2 minutes and 15 seconds left to play in this one. Naperville Central 29 and Naperville North 16. And what a conference race this is turning into. Is last week Naperville North knocked off Wheaton Warrenville South. This week Naperville Central knocking off Naperville North.
$2 for those in attendance, and seniors are free.
3rd down and 15 for the Redhawks. Stevens and Tumulty. And the pitch is to Tumulty on the left side, and he gets it up across the 10-yard line down to about the 9.
Tumulty, I mean, all night long, he shows excellent acceleration once he hits the point of attack, Mark. I mean, he really can get moving forward. When he hits the corner and he turns upfield, you better be ready to tackle him, otherwise he's going to be by you.
It'll be 4th down now, and we'll see if Tumulty will try a field goal attempt here.
Of course.
Why not?
He's done everything else tonight. I mean, outside of Lavery.
Hey, Bud, what yard line is the ball on?
Clock continues to run, just over a minute. And they are indeed going to try for a field goal.
Delay a game, the call against the Red Hawks.
Delay a game call against Naperville Central as they let the clock run down as much as they could. 51 seconds left to play, and Naperville Central is going to call a timeout. And we'll take a timeout as well. So with 51 seconds left to play in this one, Naperville Central well out in front, 29-16. Jim and I are back right after this timeout.
The air dances with the waters, which brings the rain that feeds the land, that is home to the animals. All life dances together.
In a world so connected, choosing one environmental cause can be hard. Earthshare is 40 environmental charities working together. You and your company can help by calling 1-800-MY-SHARE.
All life lives, or doesn't, together.
Here's one time it doesn't matter who your neighbor is. Here's the other. Life's too short. Stop the hate.
Number 4,
Jim, I tell you, he may be selling tickets at the front gate also. I don't know.
You know, this guy is amazing. I'm just wondering what the conference record is for most points in a game, because this guy's got 32 tonight in one game. That's got to be some kind of record. I'm not sure if they've ever kept those kinds of records, but I don't know anybody ever had 32 points in a game before. I mean, you know, Paul Hornung scored 176 for the Packers, but I don't think he ever got 32 in one game.
Jim Tumulty 32 and Naperville North 16, but I'm sure if you tell Jim Tumulty, ask him after this game, he's going to say it's a total team effort out here tonight.
You're liable to go to the two-school dance in there, and he's the lead singer. And,
Tune in to Jones Intercable TV4.
Along with Jim Pervecchio, I'm Mark Kruger, and we hope you've enjoyed this ball game here on Jones Intercable Channel 4 here in the Naperville and Aurora areas. What a ball game this has been. Hope you've enjoyed it. Jim Tumulty with 23 carries on the ground, 74 yards, and 3 touchdowns.
8 for the Huskies, number 21, Matt Deegan.
30-yard field goal, a couple of point-after attempts, 2-point conversion.
Well, the interesting thing, this sets up a big encounter on October 7th, right here when Naperville Central entertains Wheaton South, Mark. And with the seedings being the way they are this year, the first year that the schools are going to be seeded as they go into the tournament, I mean, you've got Naperville North beating Wheaton South, you've got Central beating North, and then whatever the outcome of that game is, I mean, you got these 3 teams vying for seeding in the playoffs later on. Of course, I think Wheaton South may be in the 5A and North and Central in the 6A, but still, it could make it very interesting on October 7th. And hopefully, we'll be here to bring you the ball game, folks.
That would be, what, 3 weeks from tonight, that ball game between Naperville Central and Wheaton Warrenville South. And I'll tell you what, that should be one heck of a ball game, just like tonight's Crosstown Classic.
Well, Naperville Central's trying to figure out who should be on the field and what position, because they're trying to get a few guys in here, get them some snaps in this ball game. You know, maybe some seniors, maybe some guys who don't get a lot of chance to get in there, but still, you know, are dedicated and, you know, been out here and worked hard in practice and deserve the opportunity to get on the field in this kind of ball game.
Delay a game called against Naperville Central.
Well, I think the ref gave him a minute. You're only supposed to get 25 seconds, but he was being lenient. And finally, after a minute, he said, well, we got to call this one, guys.
Clock starts to roll now. It's at 37 seconds left to play.
Naperville Central certainly, they dominated this ball game right from the opening gun, Mark. They took the opening kickoff and marched it all the way down. Had a 2nd and 2 at the Naperville North 12 before the drive stalled and they had their field goal blocked.
Jeremy Walsh.
Nice pass completion there from Kermie to Jeremy Walsh, a 33-yard pass completion.
North is going to take a timeout here.
They'll take a timeout, and we will take one as well with 28 seconds left to play. It's Central well on top, 29-16. Back in a moment. I should say 32-16, Jim. I'm sorry. 28 seconds left to play. There it is, 32-16. Naperville Central out on top.
When Raymond was 6, I was afraid to take him to the playground because they were doing drugs. When he was 10, I couldn't let him play ball in the schoolyard because of the gangs. When he was 15, I wouldn't let him go to any dances because there could be a fight or a shooting. Now he's a man, and I realize he's never been a kid.
Give your children back their childhood. Do something now. Call 1-800-WE-PREVENT. Together, we will take a bite out of crime.
Back here at Naperville Central. Final seconds as Kavanaugh fades back. Looking across the middle, and it is incomplete. With 23 seconds
I think we're going to have roughing the passer here, Mark.
For number 87, Mike Rank.
A little late hit on Kavanaugh.
There's a flag on the play.
Josh Hawkins got to him late after he'd released the ball.
Roughing the passer, the call against the Red Hawks.
So with the penalty, I believe that's a 15-yarder. Naperville Central will now move to 4-0 on the year, 2-0 in the DuPage Valley Conference. Naperville North will slip to 3-1 on the year and 1-1 in the very tough DuPage Valley Conference.
Todd Kibbe's given us the stats. I mean, Laborie 14 out of 17. Kavanaugh 11 out of 18. I mean, both for big yardage, 160 yards plus. The differences are the 2 interceptions against Kavanaugh.
Kavanaugh goes underneath to Jeremy Walsh. Pass is complete, and the clock stops as Naperville North will take a timeout.
Tackle made by number 21, Jeff Bucklar.
And we'll keep it here. Mark Kruger and Jim Porvecchio. And Jim, we mentioned the numbers from Jim Tumulty, but I'll tell you what, and you touched on the numbers by one Tim Lavery. What an outstanding performance by the junior quarterback of Naperville Central.
Yeah, I mean, 15 out of 18, 187 yards. And that, again, the turnovers from Kavanaugh, which Central converted both times into touchdowns, because they were returned deep into North Territory. The punt return by Tumulty that, was deep into North Territory. They converted into another touchdown. Central took advantage of their opportunities tonight, except for that first drive where they brought it all the way down there, and then the drive stalled and they had the field goal blocked. They have taken advantage of every time they were in scoring position, they put it in the end zone. And that's the difference. And Naperville North has